So she's being a little reactive to it. And now I got it up there on her overhop. Okay, let's see if we can trim her. Good. Good girl. See how she moved the hips towards me? Now back is okay. I'm not gonna not release the pressure if she's backing up, but in a little bit I might hold it until she starts to move that hip towards me like that. And I have to be careful because she could come in towards that rope really quickly and maybe kick. Be careful about that. Oh, I love that. Look at her yield towards me with that rope. Good girl. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that loop, get it pretty big here. Then I'm going to back her over the loop. And just work on this on her flank a little bit. So up here, beside her shoulder in that girth area, she also is a little sensitive to that. I try to get horses used to rope pressure like this first before I drive them or long line them. And it always goes better when they're okay with this rope pressure on their legs, and then I drive them, and usually it's very easy to drive them. They're not panicked by that pressure on their legs. Good girl. Just bumping, bump, bump, bump. Good. Keep moving it all over her. So I don't mind that she's wearing that, but I do want her to respond to it too. Good girl. Support with that lead rope. Good girl. So I'm having to bump up there pretty hard, which I actually like that she's tolerating that. She's not overreacting to that. Good girl. So even right up there under her rib cage, you see how she flinches when I do that? She does seem like a horse because she's so flinchy when I do that maybe she has a tendency to crow hop a little when she's first saddled. I could be wrong, but if I were training her for the first time, I would think, yeah, she's probably going to have a little sensitivity to that cinch. Good girl. Good girl. So she's being a little reactive to it. She's kind of trying to escape it a little bit, but she's moving in the right direction. Let's let her back out of this. I'm just going to see if I can get her to wear this a little bit. Firstly, I'm just looking for less reaction from her. When I pull on that rope a little bit, I want her to kind of ignore it a little bit. Right now, she's pretty reactive to it. But I'm letting her move her feet. Then she stopped. I'll take it right off. Good girl. And see how I'm rubbing her with this rope underneath her? Trying to get her used to this rope, just tapping her on the legs, on the body. Don't want her to be afraid of my rope. Good girl. Just getting her to wear it. Wear a little pressure. Good. She wore that pressure better. Now I might start asking her to yield her hips towards me. Right there. Right there. Good girl. Right there. Right there. So I'm releasing if she moves her hips towards me or if she backs up a little bit. Not there, right there, yep. Good girl. So see, I'm teaching her to do the opposite of what she has naturally inclined to do. If I put pressure on those legs with the rope, she wants to shoot forward. But I'm teaching her to give, to actually back into that pressure. And ultimately yield to the pressure. Right there, good. Good girl. Oh, that was good. Good girl. And see, when I rub her, I let that rope just hang on her legs. Good girl. Good. Support her a little bit with that halter. So she wants to go forward. I'm going to catch her with the lead rope and the halter. Stop. Good. See if I can get her to move her hips towards me. Good. As she kind of getting a little flustered and starting to throw her head into me a little bit, I'm just going to block her with my forearm and elbow. Just bump, bump, bump. Good. Good girl. Now she's escaping just a little bit. That's okay. Okay, I'm on the flank now. Good. Get right back there in her flank. She's pretty sensitive there. Just for time constraints, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next. So I'm starting above the hock, seeing if I can get her to wear that a little bit. Okay, all I want her to do is to be able to pick this foot up without reacting to it like that. So I'm not really pulling on it, I'm just going to let her wear it. Good. I want to be able to pick it up without her reacting to it. Now right there, I'm going to actually reward her for not jumping forward. I'm going to reward her for just kind of standing there. Bump on it a little bit. Good. Good girl. Good. I'm just bumping slightly. Bump, 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 bump. Waiting for her to unweight that left hind. Right there. If I can get her to unweight that and just stand on her front two and her right hind and not put weight on that left foot, then I feel like she's about ready to trim. Now, when I have horses in my training program, and I take them through the Luke Brown Foundation, I make sure that I have a round pin, and I make sure that I can stop. I can send a horse around with a rope on their leg. I can stop them, and I can back them up, and I can also get them to unweight that leg. It's just a foundation that I think every horse should have, is being able to unweight their leg and be able to yield to rope pressure on their legs and not panic. Remember, we're trying to make this as good of an experience as possible, but we're not babying her about this rope. But I'm not being aggressive with the rope either. It's kind of, there's a happy medium where I use the rope as pressure on her legs, but I want to, if she's going to kick at it, then I want to just keep mild pressure until she stops kicking. And when I say 1,000 repetitions, I'm not really exaggerating with some horses. So pressure, 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 and release. Now sometimes my pressure is steady, and sometimes my pressure is rhythmic with bumping. So if I don't feel like she's coming off of that steady pressure, then I'll bump. So here's steady, bump, 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 release. Steady, bump, 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 release. And when I say steady, I start really, really light and then so I start light, steady pressure, heavier, steady pressure, and then bumping if I need to. Light, heavier, and release. Light, heavier, release. She almost stayed on her toe that time. She's getting lighter where she feels a little bit of pressure and she'll lift that foot up. like that. That was beautiful. So she's getting more responsive to that. She's still not unweighting it, but it's coming. Now, once we get this side, hopefully there's a little carryover to the other side, but we'll see. Carryover meaning she learns quicker on the other side because she learned it on this side. This takes a lot of patience. Remember, know what you want, and then look for that change. Might rub her up on her side with this rope. So I want to keep touching her with this rope. She's not a big fan of it. But that's my desensitized to rest technique right there. So I'm desensitizing her while she's resting. There she goes. There she goes. See how she kept that toe down? Good girl. Now I'm not going to rub her with the rope this time because I want to make this feel really, really good to her. Don't want to desensitize. I want her to feel like that is exactly what I wanted. I want you to unweight that leg, get on your toe, and just hang out. Perfect. See, she can learn that she doesn't have to react to this rope. She can just unweight that leg, and life will be great. Now I'm just going to flip that rope up along her hip. I want her to be okay with walking forward and not kicking at it. Good, she's licking and chewing. Okay, let's try unweighting her one more time. She kind of kicked out. She's like, what the heck do you want? She got it once. I know she can get it again. Now let's see if I can get this off. I have to be careful when I go to get it off. Okay, she can just walk out of that. Good girl. Okay, now I need to do the right side. Sometimes I like to just put that rope between the legs, then ask her to walk forward. And now I got it up there on her, of her hop. Try to keep it up so it doesn't come off if I can. So I want to kind of let her kick through my hand while still maintaining a little bit of pressure. Right there. Bump, 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 bump. Release. Light, steady, heavy, steady, and release. So mostly it's light to heavy, steady pressure right now. That was mostly light pressure. So safety with the lariat rope is very, very important. If you're going to use a lariat rope, number one, you need to be really proficient at using a lariat rope. If you're not, rope for a year before you start doing something like this. You can use a different kind of rope during this training. I like a lariat rope because it's versatile. I can do a lot of other things. But what I want to show you is how I'm holding the lead rope and the lariat rope. I'm on her right side. I'm holding the lead rope in front of the lariat rope. The lead rope is doubled, and then I'm holding my lariat rope with my lead rope hand. And then my left hand, so I'm on the right side, my left hand that's closest to her right hind is down here. That's what I was going to ask for the flexion, ask for her to unweight. Then if she kicks through that, I can just allow that to come through my hands like this or pass over my fingers. If I have it turned this way and she kicks through it, it's gonna tighten down the loop on this lariat and potentially make it dangerous for my hand if my hand could get caught in there. So I want to be here with the tail on this side pointing down and then the loop on this side. This is how I like to hold it if I'm on her right side. Just like any kind of exercise that I'm working on the ground or in the saddle with, I want to start light and finish as firm as necessary. Eventually, I can start light and finish light, and I don't have to go firm. See, one thing I know for certain, and this is the certainty I have with training, is that eventually she's going to unweight that leg and remain unweighted. That's what I know for certain, and so that's what allows me to keep working, whether it be an hour at this, 2 hours at this, 3 hours at this, whatever it takes to get her to finally unweight and remain unweighted. Doesn't matter, because I know she'll get there. It's just a matter of time. Again, if you're limited in time, you might get this. This is decent where she's responding mostly with light pressure, some heavier, but she's better with the rope on her leg than she was 15 minutes ago. So this, if you're out of time, this is a good place to stop. Wherever you find improvement is a good place to stop if that's all the time you have. The only bad place to stop is when you end on a bad note, when there's not improvement, when she's doing something that's not correct and you stop because you're flustered or you're tired. End on a good note, even if it's just a baby good note. See, the farrier yesterday went to trim her, and he put a rope on her back foot, and I'm not sure exactly what the rope looked like, how he did it, but as soon as she started to kick, he just released it and said, nope, I'm not gonna do this. There, almost. But my purpose is to get her over that so that she is easy to trim. Now remember, every time she picks up her foot, I'm releasing the pressure. But when she weights that foot again, that's when I pick up. When I ask with pressure, there, she unweighted for almost half a second. You're doing good, baby blue. See, I let her just kind of kick through that. I don't try to hold that. Now if she jumps forward, I'm just going to bend her around. So she's feeling a little flustered, right? A little frustrated. She can't figure out what the answer is. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to achieve a breakthrough here. If I can get her to unweight her foot and remain unweighted, then that's a real breakthrough. She wants to weight that foot. She doesn't feel comfortable just being on 3 feet with a rope foot unweighted. Most horses will try to weight that roped foot. But if I don't get through that breakthrough here, then it's really going to postpone her training. Now, like I said, if you don't have time, this is a good place to stop. But I want to really create a big breakthrough, and that is unweighting on demand with pressure from that rope. So I'm changing my strategy just a little bit. I'm making that more what one trainer I know calls hot lava. If she weights that leg, she's going to feel more hot lava. She's going to feel a little more pressure, a little more intensely. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but we're trying something. Just making a little more hot lava. Make it a little more uncomfortable when she puts weight into it. Now I'm not bumping, but as soon as she weights down, if she puts weight on that heel, then I'll just pull, 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 pull. She flexes in three joints specifically. The fetlock, the hock, and the knee joint. So most horses, you know, after 2 or 3 minutes of this, they'll usually learn to stay off of that foot, but she's got some deep set issues with rope pressure, so this is an extreme case for sure. Usually it's fairly easy to get them to unweight and remain that way. The one thing I have to be careful about is not getting flustered and frustrated, because if I do and I get angry and I get emotional, then because she's not getting it, then it always goes south. It always gets worse if you get emotional, especially angry emotional. Not necessarily good emotions, but negative emotions always makes it worse. I feel like we're almost there. But I'm prepared. If she lunges forward, I'm just going to bend her around. Keep my hands from getting caught up in the rope. Now there's a little unweight there that I liked. Right there. Right there. Staying off that heel. She's coming back on it. Let me see if I can unweight it again. Right there. Now one thing I like is she's not bolting forward. She might do it in a second, but so what I'm trying to do now is keep her from extending that fetlock. Keep her from putting that heel down, so I'm kind of picking up and holding it there. And if she'll set it down. Yeah, I try real hard to never do this without gloves on, because, and the guys that do it without gloves, I don't understand how they do it. Again, I'm trying to set that standard of flexion, so if she comes down, I'll release my pressure if she remains in flexion, but if she doesn't, if she starts to weight her heel, she feels pressure again, and that's causing her to start to get uptight and kick some too. Takes a lot of focus when you've been doing it a few thousand times to watch for the correct thing that she's doing. She flexes and unweights. I'm just going to desensitize a little with this rope one last time. See, when I take this rope over to the other side and it comes across both legs, that's when it can cause some panic. Now with that rope on, I'm just reaching down and picking up her leg, seeing if I can get her to relax with my hand on her leg with the rope on at the same time. Now when I go to trim her, I'm not going to have the rope on, but if she can handle me picking up her foot with the rope on, she knows the rope is on, then I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to do it without the rope on. Good girl. I would definitely rather have gotten to the point where she consistently unweights that foot, but it's not in the cards today. I don't think that's going to keep me from being able to trim her. Because she's being pretty reactive to that rope going behind both legs, I just want to one more time put this around her butt. See, there's some carryover there from before. She's doing pretty good. She's kind of a little panicked, but she's yielding to that rope a lot better than she was at the beginning of the session. Good girl. What I'm hoping is that all of this challenging stuff with the rope will lead to, when I get back there without the rope, that she's a lot more relaxed. And it's kind of a relief of pressure for me to just be back there without the rope. Good girl. She's escaping a little bit, but she's coming the right direction. Good girl. Oh. Good girl. Okay, let's see if we can trim her. I've got my hoof knife right here, and I'm going to take this hoof knife and lay it parallel to my lead rope and hold the lead rope on the side. So I've got my left hand with the lead rope, and I'm holding it with I've got the lead rope in my left hand, and I'm holding the hoof knife in there too. And I'm going to use that left hand to press against her body and her hip, just in case she goes to kick at me. Good girl. So all I want to do is just lift that hoof up a number of times here. Go down, Get her to brake and lift. Good girl. Just help her realize that I'm not going to keep it up there forever. And help her get kind of good at this. Ooh. So if she goes to jerk it back down, I'm actually going to let her do that. I'm just going to pick it up and let her, and then set it down. See if I can hold it a little bit longer each time as a general goal. Girl. Now I protect my back by blocking. I protect myself from getting kicked as easily, and I protect my back by leaning with my forearm under her hip. A little better. That's quite a bit better right there. You notice I just keep rubbing on her. I'll rub on her, come down, pick it up, let it down, rub on her. Might even pull on her tail a little. I just want her to feel comfortable with me back here. And when I feel ready, I'll kind of slide up underneath that leg. See, this is the same issue we're having with that rope, and that is she doesn't want to just wait 3 feet and just leave that foot unweighted. That's quite a bit better. That's why I was trying to get that with the rope. If you try to force her to keep that foot up, it won't go well. So I'm just going to increase her tolerance as best as I can. Step in, step out. See, as soon as I step under here with my hip, that's when she starts to panic. So I go here and come back out. This is the side that she really struggled on with the rope, but she's holding it up a little bit better here without the rope. See, some people will try to hold on to that hoof and feel like, hey, if they let that hoof go, then they're letting the horse win. But if you hold on to her hoof, first of all, it gets very dangerous. And secondly, it just teaches her to panic. That was better. That time I let it go instead of her pulling it away. Now there, she unweighted for a second. Kept it on her toe. Good girl. I'm going to go ahead and purposefully yield her hindquarters a little bit. She yields great. Now let her stop. Now let her release be the picking up of the foot. There. There, she gets a break. She picks up her foot. She gets a break. Good girl. Now I've switched strategies a little bit. So if I pick up and she decides to walk off, I'm going to just go ahead and move her feet a little bit. So she starts to associate rest with picking up that foot. Yield those hindquarters. Maybe back her up a little bit. Always working on softening exercises, getting her to respond better, more softly and more accurately as I'm moving her feet, making that difficult, and standing still and holding her foot up, the easy thing. Good girl. Go ahead and back her up. Ooh. Girl. So every time she wants to pull her foot away, I'm going to make that a little bit more difficult for her. If she'll just lift it up and rest, she gets to stand there. That was the best she's done so far, was shifting my hip underneath her. Now she's unweighting right there. Do you see that? Good girl. Back up. And she could use a lot of learning how to back up lighter, so I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to do that. There she goes. There she goes. And that's it. Good girl.